Hi, my name's Johnny, and today we are checking out the J Standard from Fujigen. Fujigen, or FGN. I have wanted to try a Fujigen for so long because, as with most Japanese-made instruments, they're phenomenal quality, and Fujigen just have this outstanding reputation that I was interested to see if they really lived up to. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Does that still work? Is that still working for everyone else? Who knows? But it really helps see all the new content that's coming out, all the new reviews, podcast episodes, live streams, weekly bass-related content for you. Fujigen started in 1960, manufactured guitars for the Japanese and Eastern markets for brands such as Fender, Gretsch, Ibanez. The list goes on. Their tried and tested past is just evidence as to why they are such fantastic guitar makers. So in the early 1980s, Fujigen started making basses and electric guitars, but we don't care about those, for Fender. And that is where the amazing quality of made in Japan Fenders comes from. But they also make their own brand, FGN. Now this is a 2011 model and it's a jazz bass. And when I saw this advertised online, it was described as Lake Placid Blue. Now looking at the finish on this, it is nowhere near Lake Placid Blue. The seller did say that it was more of an ocean turquoise, and I would completely agree with that. It is almost like a more turquoisey colour. So starting up at the headstock, we've got this classic Fender style headstock, and the tuners are fantastic. I believe they're Japanese made Gotos. I'd say that they feel higher quality than some of the American Fenders that I've played, honestly. Now, as well as that gorgeous finish, one of the shining stars of this bass is the neck. Beautiful. It is so comfy. This, I'd say, is a cross between a modern C-shaped jazz and so your nice slim modern neck and like a Music Man Stingray style neck. It's really comfy. So it's a tiny bit chunkier than a standard jazz, but I really like that. With the satin finish on the back, it's got my name written on it. Love satin, and this one is just gorgeous. Do I really need to talk about sharp frets? No, because there aren't any. Now this one's made in 2011, so we've got an Indian rosewood fretboard, which is a really nice welcome return, seeing a bit of rosewood. We've got our standard jazz bass body, which is made out of alder. So alder body, maple neck, rosewood fretboards. This is classic stuff and a combination that is just so timeless and goes together so well, has produced so many fantastic basses. And this is one of them. Overall, this bass comes in at just over £8. Now, it's a bit heavier than some of like your Squires, which are around kind of £7, but I think that this justifies that extra pound with that weight on the older body. It really feels like high quality, and when you're playing acoustically, you can really feel those notes resonating through the entirety of the bass, which is perfect. One of the boring things about this bass is probably the bridge. It's a vintage style bridge. There's nothing really to say about it. It'd be nice if it had brass saddles maybe, but I don't really have any real desire to change the bridge on this bass. I think it does a great job as it is. One thing I will say about this guitar, and it is that I bought it second hand. We do have a few upgrades. So with the electronics, which goes a little bit over my head, harness upgraded to CTS pots with orange drop capacitor and cloth covered hookup wire. I don't really know what that means, but I do know CTS pots, and it's a really common upgrade that people do to their basses. Now, I'm going to pause the video right here to say a quick word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by JD's Music Shop in Wolverhampton. They sell guitars, they sell basses, they sell accessories, everything you could want and more from your local music shop. In the description of this video, you'll find a link to their online shop. For all of my UK viewers out there, use the code in the description or the one that's just popped up on the screen to get £5 off your first order. Support independent music shops and yeah, share the love. Thank you to JD's for sponsoring this video, and let's get on with it. Let's have a listen to what this bass sounds like. build quality is great, the feel quality is great, the sound quality is great. It's so punchy. It feels really responsive. One of my favorite tones is running it through the dark glass vintage ultra, having the distortion all the way down, but the blend of the distortion channel all the way up. And it gives you this really nice, punchy, subtle, driven sound. Oh, it's just like exactly what I wanted out of this bass, and it is a killer combination, and I absolutely love it. My favourite sound is definitely with both the pickups on. I'm not really a single coil bridge guy, although turning the tone off on the bridge does sound really good. Sometimes with affordable basses, when you turn the tone off, it gets a bit muddy, but this one is clear as day. What do you want me to say? I don't have anything bad to say about this bass, honestly. I would even go to say that it is the best jazz bass that I've ever played. I suppose the only bad thing is that they don't do the J standard anymore. They do the Mighty Jazz, which I haven't tried, but you can get it in your classic jazz bass setup. It looks a little less traditional, and they also do it with a humbucker in the bridge. But yeah, make sure you are keeping your eye on the used market and seeing if you can get your hands on an FGN, because man, these basses just live up to the name so much. They're so good, and I can't sing the praises enough of this guy. I think that's everything that I had to say. Apologies if you found this review really boring, because there's nothing bad, but I think that's a good thing. If you like the sound of this bass, let me know in the comments down below, as well as what else you want me to check out this year. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and all that jazz. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.